This is Kitty Wan back with part 3 of the video tutorial series Creating a Memory Match Game with Construct 2. In the previous videos we created a card object with a back and 24 faces and made it respond to mouse clicks, and then we laid out the cards in this 4x6 tableau. In this video we'll shuffle the cards by creating an array containing the card face frame numbers and then use an easy technique to randomize the array. First we need to create an array to hold the card face frame numbers that we want to randomize. So let's go back to Construct. And go to the Layout. Right-click on the layout to insert a new object and choose an array object. We'll name the array Deck. And that's all we have to do to it right now. We don't have to worry about the size of the array because we'll be changing that on Start of Layout. So go back to the event sheet, add an action, and the action will be on the deck, and set the size of the deck array, and we want to change it to G number cards as the width, and leave the height and depth both at 1. Make sure that they're not less than 1 or your array is going to get broken. Okay, we need now to create a loop to insert numbers into that array. So let's click on this repeat number of cards times and insert a new event above, and it's going to be a system event, and we'll be doing a repeat, and we'll repeat G number cards times. And let's move that up above these global variables. Whoops. And it needs we need a global variable for this too. We can copy this current tableau card variable and paste it and change its name to current deck card. So this is the counter for the elements in the array, the deck array, whereas this one is the counter for the elements in the actual set of cards, the tableau of cards. Okay, we want to add an action, and that action will be to add to that local variable we just created, which is current deck card. So to start with, it's -1. We add 1, it becomes 0. Now we're ready to put our first item into that array. So what we're going to do is we're going to set the deck at X equal to the X that we're interested in is this same current deck card. That's the index into that array. It's current deck card. And the value we want to use is also current deck card. Alright, so now we have an array that contains the numbers from 0 to 23. So the next thing we need to do is actually shuffle the cards. And what is shuffling? It's moving the cards from one position in a deck to another position. Or in our case, we want to move the card frame numbers from one position in the array to another position. There are many, many ways to do this, but the one we're going to use is a pretty simple one. We're going to randomly choose 2 of the array cells and we're going to take the values in those cells and we're going to swap them. And if we do this enough times, the array will be randomized. So to do that, let's insert another event below this one. And again, we'll be doing a repeat. And we haven't set any global variable for that, so let's just make it repeat 10 times. And but we are going to need some global variables. We need 2 global variables to hold the positions in the array. So let's add a local variable. We'll call it slot1. And another one called slot2. We also need a global variable, 2 global variables to hold the values that are in those cells. So we're going to insert another variable called card1, and another one called card2. And let's organize these so that they're in some kind of order. The first thing we need to do is insert a random value for, we need to randomly select the cell in the array that we're interested in. So we're going to use the random function to do that. And we're going to set slot1, set the value of slot1 equal to int, which just means I don't want any decimal places with numbers after it, int, and then random, and make sure you put the parentheses in, 0. I want the random number to be between 0 and G number cards, and this top value, it actually doesn't, it chooses 1 less than that, which is what we want. It's going to go from 0, G number cards is 24, but it's going to go from 0 to 23 because it chooses a number less, 1 less than that. Oops, we're missing a parenthesis. Put that in. All right. And we can copy that and paste it and change that value to slot2. Okay. Then we want to take the value that is in slot 2 and we want to assign it to card 1. So set the value of card 1 to be it's going to be dec, which is the name of our array, dot at open parentheses and then slot 1. So this says it's only using the x dimension or the width dimension because we only have 1 element here. So it's going to take that value that it finds in where x is equal to the value that's being held by slot 1 right now, and it's going to assign it to card 1. And we'll do the same thing with card 2, just changing this to be card 2 and this value to be slot 2.